Welcome to Channel AMEC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrate to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on a little bell on side so once we have all the updates and news, you'll be the first one getting all the insight. Now today's video, I would like to take you in a discussion of how 2022 partner visa actually work. Now obviously over the past 2 years we have been through COVID-19 pandemic, and actually in 2021 there was an idea pointed out by the Department of Immigration that there is a reform of a change of policies for partner visa. However, until today we haven't seen any changes. Now perhaps it will come in force in July 2022. Anyhow, let's have a look what you require if you are prepared to lodge a partner visa, either onshore or offshore. Let's go in there and have a look. Okay, so you may want to do your own Google. You wanted to punch in subclass 820 or 309, which is for offshore applications. People ask whether there's any differences between onshore and offshore. Well, the historical in the past, in the paper world, not even electronic world, the partner visa is categorized into two different types. One is onshore and offshore. So if you're offshore, you need to find the nearest embassy, Australian embassy, to actually get your paper form filled out with all the document, probably that thick, and whatever it is, you get all printed out, handwritten, and then posted to the nearest embassy of Australia. Now if you're in Australia, well, that's probably much easier. However, you still need to print out every single form, fill them out with all the support document plot, and that's including the passport copies, certified, every page certified, and then you post to the nearest immigration office. However, that's no longer the case. So currently 309 or 820 is the same, because every deal they go through, you go through email account electronically, so it's much more enhanced. And let's go in the detail, and you only need to pay the fee for this much. It's about $7,850 plus the surcharge on the credit card over email account. It's almost $8,000. Very, very expensive. Thus, we'll always recommend you check your every single document and the legality and the lawfulness and validity of your application very carefully. Perhaps getting a professional agent to help you. Otherwise, look, the visa fees is non-refundable. Okay, let's go into detail and see what you require. Now, obviously, it's pretty simple. You get your loved one. Either it's going to be same sex or opposite sex, doesn't really matter. But you need to have a sponsor who is an Australian permanent resident or Australian citizen. Now, a lot of people generally ask or inquire that, oh, I've just got married last week. Can I lodge it? Well, the answer is yes. However, if you do not have enough evidence of your relationship prior to your marriage, that application will be very dangerous and will have high risk to be rejected. This is just a mechanism within the policy of immigration to prevent any false and fake marriages. So you need to have at least 12 months of relationship prior to the marriage, whether that's gonna be contact and communication evidences, going out for destination holidays, buying gifts between each other and things like that. Or perhaps you already been living together. That's much easier. You have a lease, a rental agreement. You have a lot of evidence of showing that you guys are together. So that is basically the key here. So the eligibility, it's quite simple. Well, look, they had not had a visa cancel application review. Now, you still do have the validity under the law to actually lodge, even if you have visa cancel, things like that. But I would strongly suggest you consult with your agent or lawyer, or perhaps you want to leave a comment right here, we can help you out as well, because we had a lot of successful cases. But we really need to look into detail of the actual relationship. So again, the relationship test, that is exactly what I have just mentioned. So how long should the relationship be? Some people argue 6 or 12. Well, look, at least I would strongly say 12 is the best. But if it's going to be less than that, you really need to have a very strong case with the evidence to support that. Okay, so have a sponsor, so that's gonna be the married or the partner who is Australian citizen or permanent resident. There is no age limit, but you have to be at the right age, because in Australia you can only be legally married if you're above 18 years old. Then you only need to do past the health and character. Now, how long does this visa go for? If we go back to the overview, you will see it's likely to go at least 2 years to 3. My average is around 20 something month, so it's not a very quick visa procedure, as a way of government is using this as a way to test the relationship. So if it's the relationship deteriorated between these time, what happened? Yeah, well, obviously your visa will not be granted. So make sure you have a good relationship with your partner. Now, the other thing I wanted to take you to see is the actual reform. I haven't really done a video in detail on this one, so today I would like to take more time on this one. So in 2020 and 2021, obviously that's during the pandemic, so I doubt they have done much of action on this one. But again, there has been a policy reform, and they have given out for consultation papers, so people can write to immigration before 31st March 2021. So that's almost a year ago. So what was it? What is the consultation all about? So it's about whether the actual visa applicant is required to have English language requirements. So the introduction of English language requirement for permanent residents, sponsors, and partner visa applicant. Well, a lot of people reject that because, well, why is it important to actually have competent English? But if they were only looking for vocational English, that's IELTS 4.5. That's a level that you literally just, if you can order McDonald's meals, you'll pass that level. But if that is the level that required, then why even require to be tested? I mean, that's too easy, right? Anyway, well, I leave that to all of you to comment. Well, I'm not a big fan of having partner visa to test with English. That's not just the reason they introduced. They want the migrant to actually get involved more into the community. Whether have a good English, well, probably can help. But anyway, I'm not a big fan. I'm not actually going for that. Anyway, applying sponsorship framework. So because of family violence and things, remember the previous few video I've done, domestic violence, things like that. So I think there's a number of domestic violence coming up, being in the stats nationally. So they're introducing something that this is actually not a bulky, but just a lot of reads. I do not wish to go through all that detail there, but I'd like to give you just a brief on this one. So what they're trying to do, the reform, is that they separate the sponsorship application and the visa application itself, just like how they deal with employer sponsor. So the immigration would like to check the sponsor application first. Once it's approved, then you can lodge your partner visa applications. So that means more time is required. The reason that they want to do that is just to enforce that reduce the family violence. So they want to check the sponsor is a good guy or good lady. Well, anyway, having checked the sponsor whether they have any issues doesn't prevent in the future there will be any issues, because relationship is complex, right? I think everybody will agree with me on that one. So Apart from the English proficiency level, reasonable effort, and how they categorize reasonable effort, I think this is just they want them to go to classes. So that means if they require them to go to AMEP classes, that would mean, well, would that be more cost on the visa application? I'm not too sure how they will actually get this. Now, this is not final yet because this is just a consultation paper. Exemptions for English. So this is all talking about English, not even talking about the other part of the oh, here we go, that's the partnership one. So they need the sponsor to they need to check whether there is any adverse information on the partner, on the sponsor. So that's about it. So until now, we have not received any information on this one yet. Whether or not it's gonna come up in July, not too sure, because we have been through a pandemic. I mean, how serious or how we need this to be tested, and there has been so many families being separated during these 2 years. Should they introduce something that's more complicated and more time consumed? I doubt. Anyway, should you have more question, query, more than welcome to leave a comment right down below, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.